Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into the story of an incredible invention. It's one that was born from love, from real-world necessity, and from a really simple but powerful idea. What if getting around wasn't a chore, but something you could share? This is the story of ossist.
And this quote, man, it just nails it, right? This isn't just about a new piece of tech. It's about completely changing the feeling between a person using a wheelchair and the person helping them. It's about moving from a feeling of dependence to one of partnership, of just being together. And like so many of these world-changing ideas, this one started in a very, very personal place. It's really a story about a son's promise to his mom. This is what it all comes down to. The founder of ossist had been caring for his own mother at home for more than 10 years. He knew the daily challenges, the physical exhaustion, the whole emotional weight of it all. This wasn't some problem he read about in a magazine. This was his actual life.
So how does that personal struggle become a real invention? Well, it all came to a head back in 2020. During the pandemic, he was really worried that his mother's health would decline if she just stayed inside all the time. But taking her out for walks was just so physically draining. And then his worst fear came true. The wheelchair's little front wheel got snagged on an uneven sidewalk, and his mother fell. That was it. That was the moment he knew something had to change. And by 2022, he had built the very first prototype with his own two hands for one specific person, his mom.
And this slide just says it all, doesn't it? On the left, you've got that early handmade prototype. You can see it was built out of pure necessity. And then on the right, you see the sleek, polished product it is today. It's just an incredible journey from a personal fix to a device that could help millions. And that's how this story expands, It goes from one family's problem to a massive societal challenge. Because what the founder went through, well, it's something millions of people experience. Just look at this number for a second. In Japan alone, almost 7.2 million people need some kind of care support. That is millions of families who are facing these same kinds of struggles day in and day out. Okay, so that number is huge. But what does it actually feel like? What are the real day-to-day challenges that are hidden inside that giant statistic? You really have to think about both sides of this coin. For caregivers, you've got that intense physical strain, especially trying to push a wheelchair up a hill. But for the user, there's this psychological weight, right? Feeling guilty or like a burden for asking for help. And that can make people just not want to go out. That isolation is so dangerous. It can actually speed up things like dementia. So you have all that, plus the constant fear of uneven sidewalks and the fact that a new electric wheelchair costs a fortune. It's just this perfect storm of challenges. But here's the good news. For every single one of those problems, there's a solution. So let's take a look at how ossist tackles these challenges head-on. And here it is, ossist. And its whole mission is right there in the tagline. Easy to push, can ride together. It's so simple, so direct, and it promises to fix the two biggest issues we just talked about. So what is this thing exactly? Well, at its heart, ossist is an electric assist unit. But here's the absolute game changer. You don't buy a whole new wheelchair. You attach this device to the manual wheelchair you already have, and boom, it instantly gets a power boost. So, how does this simple-looking device actually deliver on such a huge promise? Let's get into it. It's designed to be incredibly easy. Seriously. You just clip the unit onto the wheelchair frame, you flip on the motor, and that's it, you're ready to go. And the physical effort it takes to push is just slashed. And this is where that power becomes a total game changer. Remember the struggle of pushing up hills? With ossist, a 5-degree slope is nothing. Even a really steep 10-degree hill becomes totally manageable. It completely rewrites what's possible on a daily walk. Okay, but this next part, this is my absolute favorite feature. There's an optional board that lets the caregiver stand on the back and ride along. This is just genius. It's no longer one person pushing another person. It's two people traveling together, sharing the exact same experience. It turns mobility from a task into a journey. And let's talk about the practical side of things, because this is a big deal. Since you're just upgrading the wheelchair you already own, you get to avoid the massive cost of a brand new electric one. And because the unit is super easy to pop on and off, it's great for travel. You can just toss it in the trunk of a car, no problem. And finally, ossist, addresses safety in a really smart way. There's a smartphone app that acts as an unevenness navigator. It uses sensors to spot bumps, cracks, and other hazards on the sidewalk up ahead, and it alerts the caregiver in real time. It's like having a map of all the dangerous spots, preventing the exact kind of accident that started this whole thing. So the product as it is today is amazing, but trust me, the story does not stop here. The vision for the future of ossist is just as impressive as the technology itself. And you know what? The world is really starting to take notice. Ossist has been invited to the Japan Mobility Show 2 years in a row. It was selected by the Toyota Mobility Foundation, and it was even chosen to exhibit at the massive CES Tech Show in Las Vegas. This isn't just a passion project anymore. It's being recognized as a true innovator. And they have a whole roadmap planned out for the future. Check this out. The launch starts in 2026, and the new features just keep rolling out every year after that. We're talking an AI-powered hazard map, collision sensors, and eventually even semi-autonomous driving features. They're not just building a device, they're building an entire mobility platform. So we end up right back where we started. Ossist began with a son's love for his mother, and it has grown into this incredible answer to that one question. It just goes to show you that the very best technology doesn't just solve a practical problem. It brings people closer together, it helps us find that harmony.